Will you crow? Are you gonna crow? Crow. Welcome to Hannah's Backyard Garden, week number 5. This week we have a lot of growth. We actually got close to, well, I know for sure we got over 2 inches of rain, maybe a little bit more, and things are just like tripled in size. You know how that goes. So I'll take you through. We do have some lilies that have opened up, some more that are on the way, and the things are just starting to vine like crazy. I don't know if you can see the ornamental gourd back there. Sunflowers, corn, everything's just growing. So let me take you through this week, show you what's new. Okay, well, first off, the lilies flowered. They're a really beautiful color. All of this stuff is looking really good. We probably got, I think we got close to 2 inches of rain so far. More lilies that opened. Oh, those ones in the back, right there, starting to turn color too. So they'll be opening really soon. The pots in the front, I haven't watered these for a couple days, but they're actually looking really pretty. That. Okay, so the lavender really took off. It's really nice this week, so things just weren't getting enough water. And chives actually started to get a little flower on the top there. Rosemary, the basil looks amazing. Catnip looks great, and peppermint. And then we have the Greek oregano, which I'm having the worst luck. It's barely there, so I don't think we're going to get much of that. Yeah, this got little flowers on it. I got a really big strawberry here. It's just starting to get a tiny bit of red on it. There's a whole bunch of little ones. Oh, here's another one. So there are a couple. They're actually doing pretty good for what's left. And now we're into the garden. The Miss Mars sunflowers are really starting to get big. Not tall, but they only get 30 inches, so. Straight 8 cucumbers. Starting to wind up the trellis. Pickling. I'm not sure what variety of pickling the back one is, but all these ones in the front are Chicago picklers. The delicata and the sweet dumpling squash. The zinnias are on the outside. Yeah, and I'm not sure what's all going to go on with this one. It looked like it kind of broke, but it's still growing, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. And these midget watermelon, they grew a lot. They're still pretty small, but they grew a lot compared to what they were. This gourd is huge. And then sugar pumpkin. Is it? Yeah. Sugar pumpkin, I believe. And then another ornamental gourd. But yeah, this has grown quite a bit already. Another sugar pumpkin, and then the zinnias are on the back here. And they're doing really well. Okay, our peppers. They're really full. You can see that one was from the greenhouse. This is King Arthur, which has one on it. Otherwise, though, these are just filling right up, and they're starting to get little pieces, blossoms. What will be fruit. And another really nice plant. The tomatoes. Let me back up a bit. It's a cherry. I got a little bit of trimming up to do on that one. The white tomasil, same thing. Have a little bit of trimming and pruning to do, and weaving. I gotta get them in that trellis. Another white tomasil, and then the blueberry cherry. It's looking really good. And then the other blueberry cherry. The Amish paste has perked up. All 5 of these are Amish paste. Has perked up pretty good this week with the rain. And the marigolds are starting to get bushier and bigger. But yeah, they're looking better. More peppers. They're getting bushy, and like I said, just starting to get some little blossoms forming. Pearl cut white sunflowers. Corn is well past my knee now. A honey pearl from Gurney's. That's where the corn came from. I got a few little golden zucchinis in here. Not sure if they're getting pollinated yet or not. It's a little early. I haven't seen a lot of pollinators in the garden, but hope that doesn't matter. And then there's these ones that are getting really big. This one's a little bit different. The fruit is starting to form, so not sure which one that is yet. This mortgage lifter growing. That one's really big. Alright, this is Big Reds. They're doing really well, coming back. My zinnias are really starting to bush out, and marigolds are growing, so those are just starting to reach the trellis. Cauliflower is really big this time, and the dill is already seeded out. Tomatillos. Tomatillos are huge. They're starting to get some of the flowers on. Cilantro bolted. We actually have tomatoes on the stupas. A couple of them. And the cabbage that has gotten quite significantly bigger. aromas tied up. I planted a little one right there. And check out these peppers. There's a pepperoncini. Getting huge. Black Hungarian. A couple Anaheims on here. This is a cayenne. Paprika. I'm really excited to see what they look like. Chocolate cherry, sunflowers, some beef sticks. Yeah, oh, I'm really excited. This was a volunteer, and whatever kind of tomato it is, it's gonna be pretty sweet. It's got a huge blossom. It's definitely one of the heirlooms. I don't know if it's gonna be a mixed one or what it's gonna be. Cherokee purple, maybe? That'd be kind of cool. So yeah, our zucchini is starting to form. This one I believe is going to be a black beauty. Where this one over here, I think is going to be a gray zucchini because it appears... Oops, I just broke that. Oh well, but I'm not sure if you can see it, but it looks to me like it's got some stripes forming on it. So, the watermelon's really taking off. Klondike. Just starting to get the vine here. Crimson Sweet, that's really taking off. And pumpkin. And I'm also going to leave this ground cover in here. Just going to let that go where the pumpkin is. Not too worried about it. And I do have a random squash there. And here, I'm thinking it's going to be pumpkin type variety that I'll probably remove. But everything got weeded this week because the weeds just really popped up after the rain. Oh yeah, week number 5. It's getting taller. So here we are back in the root bed, getting things, I got things pretty much organized last night, weeded, and I've been vacuuming. I don't know what that was, but it's still in my hair. I've been vacuuming the potato bugs off of my potatoes because I can't pick them all. It's kind of gross. So I took the shop vac and I'm vacuuming them off. I think I'm gonna have to do it like morning and night because I've done it like once a day already and they just keep coming back. So when I show you my potatoes, you're gonna see that they're back already. So I don't know where they're all coming from, but like I said, I've removed them multiple times. So I don't know if I'm gonna save the potatoes or not, but I'm at least attempting to. That's all I can do. And I'm hoping to kind of hold them off at bay to at least get even some small potatoes. Like that's better than nothing. So carrots are doing really well. I tried to harvest a garlic. It was pretty early yet. It looked like, like a garlic bulb. And where the cloves are, there wasn't really like that paper lining that's normally on them. They just didn't have that yet. So I did still use it. I didn't want to waste it, but it's definitely not ready. And the onions I actually have been eating, and I harvested like 3 or 4, and I don't know, there's just nothing better than a fresh onion, I guess, from the garden. Like, the flavor is just remarkable. But yeah, otherwise, everything else in this garden is looking really well, except for the potatoes. And like I said, this is the reason I rarely grow them, because this happens every time. So it's just really disappointing to lose your crop to bugs or pests. And I try really hard not to spray anything or put anything on my plants. I like to be as organic as possible, I guess. So that's just my choice and what I'm choosing to do. So this is one of the downfalls of that. But yeah, this is some of the damage done by the larvae of the potato bugs compared to these potatoes. You can see a big difference. But like I said, I just vacuumed all this off and you can see that there's more on the plants already. So I'm just going to keep doing it and hope for the best. I'm really glad I left this wide row in here now because I can get the shot back along here as I'm vacuuming all that. Works out really well. But yeah, they're even hitting it in here. Those dirty bugs. So I got to put more dirt in that. But the onions, everything's just looking so nice. This is probably the best weeded garden I've ever had to date. I mean, even the carrots, I've even thinned them out fairly well. Could probably do better yet, but I'm really happy with them. So that's basically it for this bed. It's not the most exciting one, but it has a lot of the staples in it, the necessities in life. You know, onions, potatoes, and garlic. So there you go. That's week number 5. Looks like we might have some more rain coming. Alright, one thing I wanted to talk about a little bit this week is like how the garden is starting to finally fill out. Sorry, I don't know if you probably can't see it, but my dog's sitting down there. But yeah, so I've been pretty diligent the last few years of trying to figure out spacing and everything for the garden. And I've been writing down what I need to do and then documenting everything through obviously these videos. So it's not necessarily for the views because I'm not really getting very many, but it's basically the videos that I've been doing is to help me, first of all, holds me accountable, keeps my garden weeded because other people can see it, so I want it to look good. And it also helps me throughout each year to know what worked and what didn't work. It's really great for experimenting and documenting the process. So one thing, like I said, what I've been really trying to do is spacing. And how much space does something need and appropriate so I don't have to weed the least amount of weeding and to use things like the most valuable space that I can. To use the most space that I can and make it the most valuable. So I wanted to say that I think I'm really starting to get that down. Yeah, my spacing is pretty good this year. I feel like I probably could have put a little bit less, like maybe 1 gourd plant on my trellis instead of the 2 because they're humongous. But yet, like I said, I cut back way back from last year. So I'm thinking that that's going to be a good thing. And I'm kind of enjoying this process. But the tomatoes, having 5 on the trellis, I think 4 would be better because of blight and the more air movement. I've noticed last year having 2 trellises close together wasn't good for the tomatoes. So they are spaced a little bit more this year. I'm hoping it's enough that the air movement can still get through and whatnot. But I just wanted to say I'm really happy with my spacing, and in the next few weeks I think I'm going to have to do very minimal weeding. And as you can see, I don't mulch because I really don't like picking weeds and stuff around the mulch, and I mulched in the front of my bed there and there's grass coming up through it. You constantly have to add more. It's just, I'm just really not a fan of it. I feel like this just looks a lot nicer to me. It's more appeasing to the eye, and I even tried to keep, like, there's some weeds that's like a ground cover. I even tried to keep that, and I just don't like what it looks like. So I ended up pulling that out, but So this is just my choice, but eventually there's going to be very minimal dirt actually showing that it'll be just a weed here and there. So I'm really excited about that. As the more you watch, the more you'll see that, and I'm hoping I got my spacing right this year, because this is going to be more of my permanent garden site. All the other years we just weren't sure if this is where we wanted our garden and whatnot. So here we are out here, and this is going to be the full-time garden from here on out. So this is what I got to work with, which is more than enough room. But like I said, I just had to work on the spacing. So okay, that's about it for the week. I hope you guys have a good one, and we'll see you on week number 6.